And welcome back to the Alderson's Awards West Printware's postgame show, and a spectacular finish for the Centralia Tigers, scoring 11 times in the last two innings. They came into the top of the sixth, trailing 6-2 as they started off. And Derek Thompson was a pitcher, and he would walk the bases full. That would end it for him. Um, then a fourth would be walked, and Sprague, an RBI single by Jenkins, an RBI single by Vallejo, what was that? That wasn't a strikeout. That was I think that was Wasson got on a fielder's choice. Then a 2 RBI double by Kaut. Another walk, a 2 RBI single by Akins, and a 2 RBI double by Support Moshi, who then got thrown out at third to end that. But that gave him the 11-6 lead. Tumwater would get one back, and then in the top of the seventh, a single by Sprague, a single by Jenkins. They'd both come in on a 2 RBI double by Wasson, and that would end the scoring. Kaut would come on, and I think he pitched 4 innings of relief there, and he'll pick up the win as well. Tumwater, they had opportunities, but again, too many errors and just not taking advantage of, and frankly, going into that, Centralia had left 8 men on base as well. They had their chances earlier in the game, and they were kind of struggling and trying to get runners across the plate. They finally did. Tumwater will end up 1-1 today, and they'll drop to 6-3. Meantime, Centralia will improve to 4-3, and this EVCO 2A is going to continue to be a nip and tuck. I'm not sure I can see anyone really breaking free, and that means every single time that these teams match up and get set to take on each other, as Matthew King has joined me back up in the press box. But Matthew, Black Hills, Aberdeen, they're at the bottom of the standings, but after watching them last night, either team can win at any time. You can't take anyone for granted in this. Shelton's having a good year out there. WF West has been up and down.
Rochester's red hot right now. Yeah. They're playing really good baseball. So, yeah, top to bottom, the Evergreen League might be as deep as we've ever seen it. It feels like any single team can beat anyone else any given day. And with these games being bunched together, the pitching is always a big question mark, but everyone's pitching with hittable pitchers for the most part because they can't go to their guys as often as they like.
Yep. It is leaving the door open for sure. And so to watch a kid like Landon Kaut go out there, and he gave up a few runs, but he didn't walk a whole bunch. He let them hit the ball, let his defense, didn't have a bunch of strikeouts, let his defense handle it. And, they worked themselves back into the game and pulled away for the easy win in the end.
Yeah, if you can get a guy to come in and give you, 4 innings out of the bullpen and only give up 2 or 3 runs, you're going to take that, especially when you have to go this deep into your pitching. So that is absolutely fantastic for Centralia. And I think this win, like you said, reminds everyone you can't ever overlook the Tigers when it comes to baseball. They are just going to be fundamentally sound for the most part, and they're going to have a shot to win any given day. If you let them hang around, they're going to end up getting you.
No question about it. All right, let's get to our MVPs. We'll start with the Pacific Sports Spa visiting team MVP. Pacific Sports Spa, when you need to get back in the game in a hurry, check them out. They're in Chehalis, Pacific Sports Spa in Chehalis. And taking a look at this, I think I have to go with Kaut as our MVP here. Vallejo had a really good game, Matthew. He had 3 hits, an RBI and a base, and a run scored. Support had, a couple of big hits. He did get thrown. He got picked off and he got thrown out at third. But played well in the field as well. Akins, the number 9 batter, a sacrifice, single, walk, and a single and 2 RBI. What else? And he played well out there in center field or in right field and moved over. Or Atkins was out in center, I think. But but played well out in the outfield as well. So there's Jenkins started pitching, and then he had a couple of hits and an RBI and scored 3 runs, 3 hits as well. Sprague played consistent behind the plate. They all had ended up with good games, but I think Kaut, especially with his effort on the hill, he had 2 doubles. That big double in the 6th really broke things open. So I'm going to go with Landon Kaut as our MVP.
Yeah, and he came into the game and he kind of slowed down the Tumwater offense because Tumwater was threatening consistently early in that ball game, and Kaut came in and he really limited the opportunities. He let his fielders do the work, and they stepped up in a big way. So hats off to the entire Centralia team. But like you said, Kaut doing a great job on the hill, and then those 2 big doubles plus scoring a couple of runs. That's a very good performance for Centralia.
No question about it. He did give up 3 runs. He gave up 1 in the 4th, 5th, and 6th, but he never the most batters he faced in an inning was 6, so he stayed on top of it, did not allow the big inning to happen, kept them in it, and they were able to come back. All right, time for our Thorbeck's home team MVP. Thorbeck's strong today, stronger tomorrow, strongest together. Thorbeck's in Centralia, Chehalis, and in South Bend. And Braden Oram walked, had an RBI, 2 singles, 3 runs scored, pitched pretty well, until then. I'm thinking I don't know if I can find anyone else. Eddie Marson had a solid game, good out in the field, and a couple base hits and a couple of runs scored, but I think we're going to go with Braden Oram.
And he played really solid defense. He made that last play at 3rd as well. Otherwise, Centralia was going to add on, and who knows how many more they would have gotten in the 7th. Oram really seems like a guy you can go to when you need a play made. He's always going to be level-headed, never really lets the moment get too big for him, always steps up. And like I said, he's the leader on the infield. Whether he's playing shortstop, 3rd base, he's the guy, and I think that's the right call, Braden Oram, MVP.
Yeah, Braden Oram will be our home team MVP. All right, that's going to do it for us for this week. Check out, we have not got up next week's schedule yet, right? We'll be working on that tomorrow. Matthew and I will, and we'll be getting up the recaps of these games as well, hopefully over the weekend or by Monday morning, but we'll get those out. I'm going to probably work on a bunch of them tonight and see if we can get it done by tomorrow. And then check our schedules, and I think there's a chance we may have some track and field coming up here, invitational time, as we get set for the spring playoffs coming up in a few weeks. Until then, have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time here on the Eli and the NFHS Sports Networks.